Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
I am paging Dr. Chanda.
I am the Dr.
And I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Paging Dr. Chanda podcast, all things related to the Black culture.
Revolt. The doctor in front of your name.
Dr. Chanda Reynolds.
All right, how y'all doing today? Awesome. Y'all look good. Y'all feeling as good as you look? Well, okay then, I guess we can start. Amen? I'm a little churchy, amen? Oh, thank you, beloved, I appreciate you. Thank you, okay. All right, so we're gonna have an amazing time tonight, right? Listen, I can't wait to get into this conversation, but first, I love for the energy to be where it needs to be before I introduce the guest. So, can we hear some hand claps, some noise? Just a little bit more. I know we can get the energy there. Hey. Because y'all know this is Keke's first time in Delaware. We got to show her how the 302 do. We got to show her. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, you better buckle up because you are in for a ride. We have a true gem here in the building. She's been on our screens since she's been a kid, showing us what it truly means to be a multi-hyphenate. Whether she's singing, acting, or hosting, she dominates whatever field she's in. You've seen her run Nickelodeon, Disney, and take Hollywood by storm. Now she's raising the bar as an author, a businesswoman, and a new mama. And the gag is, y'all, she's here with us today. Y'all give it up for Miss Keke Palmer.
Hey guys! Look at that baby. Hey baby. Oh my
Amazing.
God.
How you feeling?
I'm so good. It's so good to be here. This is my first time in Delaware, like Chanda was saying. I am so glad to sit here with y'all and have this conversation. So thank you for being here.
Listen, I love the energy is here. I love this. We showing her how Delaware do, honey, okay? First of all, your dress. I keep talking about your dress, but
And
it's
you know,
amazing.
I keep talking about your dress. We both came in like your dress, like that Spider-Man meme. It's you.
Yes, we're definitely feeling it. I told her my best friend picked mine out. She was telling me about her dress. Like, we're just gonna have to swap after this is over.
I'm here for that.
Okay. Now, before we hop into some questions, I always like to do an icebreaker with my guests.
Yes.
So I want to do a little game. Is that okay with y'all?
I love
Is that okay, Miss Keke?
Yeah, that's so fun, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna play a game of pass or play, Keke Palmer edition. Okay? So based on your past roles, I'm going to ask you whether you would play the role again or if you would pass.
Okay.
And if you pass, I want you to share what you would change about that specific role.
Okay, this is good. I'm ready.
Are we ready? All right.
Oh.
True Jackson VP.
Honey, I loved being the VP. I would play. I would do it
okay.
again. I would love to see what she would be like now. Like, will we be taking like a Frasier type approach, a Mary Tyler Moore approach? Like, what is the office like in this time? So I'm here for it. I'm here to be true again.
I'm here for y'all.
She better
hear that?
own the company now.
Yes. Come on. Come on,
She's been
CEO.
working there since she was 15. You need to own it.
Beloved was working hard. She was working hard.
Okay.
All right. This is where America fell in love with you, though.
Oh.
Miss Akila and the Big. How we feeling? We going
So look, if I did do it again, it would have to be different. Like, I'm thinking like she would have to be the Dr. Larrabee now, right? She would have to have a group of young kids that she's teaching how to spell. And she's taking all of them to the National Spelling Bee. A little Akila and the Bee mixed with Remember the Titans or something, you know what I mean? We going. I'm here for that.
I'm here for that too. Okay. What about this one though?
Oh,
Mercedes
Now, wait a minute.
and Hustlers.
Mercedes, we're not going back to the strip club, mama. You know, we got to pass on that. She got to be moving on up. You know what I mean?
Okay, so she's moving on up.
Yes.
She's been delivered. Okay, all right.
She's been delivered.
Zayday from Scream Queens. I love this show.
Yes, this was a good. I would do it again. I would play this again. Where's the show going? I would be so curious to know. Because we jumped from the first season to the second season, so I would want to know what are we talking about in the third season? What is the satirical element? What's the commentary? But it was a very fun show, so I would play for sure again. Yeah,
we would love this. We would love this. And how about Alice?
I loved Alice. So I got to see what the storyline is. You know, I'm ready for her to keep whooping some more behind.
Okay.
Because at the end, how we left off in that movie, she done burnt the house down.
Yes.
It was very Pam Grier. So I'm ready for her to take it elsewhere, to burn some more houses down. So let's play.
Come on, we're going to play
I'm here for it. Justice. Okay, well,
Wednesday in Pimp.
I don't want to spoil it, but Mama at the end, so I can't play. She coming back? She's a ghost.
Is there anything you would change about her story?
What I would change about her story? You know what? No, because it's a story that needs to be told. Her story is valid. It was definitely heavy. She went through some hard stuff, but she learned valuable lessons, and she learned a very valuable lesson in the end. So, you know, I feel like, you know, hey, we got to tell every story. Every story deserves to be told.
She had a well-rounded story. I love that
really
for her. Yeah, you played that role.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Did y'all like the game?
I love the game. It was very fun.
Awesome. So we're going to hop into some career-related questions. Are y'all ready? So, Miss Keke, you've been in the game since childhood. Like, you've been on our screens for decades. When did you realize that you wanted to be in the entertainment industry?
Well, you know what? I thought, go, I love that. You know what? I thought, I don't know if I knew the entertainment industry, but I knew I wanted to be in entertainment or be a performer as young as 5, watching my mom sing in church. I really loved watching how the audience responded to her when she would sing. You know, they would just be so elated, and people would come up to her after church and say, I really needed that. Or, Sharon, you sang that song today. And I was like, oh my gosh, whatever that is that's happening, I want to make people feel like that too. And so that's when I knew that I wanted to be a performer for sure.
Absolutely. I'm here for that. Did y'all love that answer? I feel like I know I met Miss Sharon backstage, but I feel like I knew her already because, like, you know, she's there with you.
She is. Yeah. She's there. Her, you know, and even as I've continued to grow and my story as an entertainer has continued to open up, people have gotten to know how I am able to be and do the things that I'm doing, and it's because of my mom and my dad, my family.
Yeah. You come from a musical family, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Both of my parents were artists, so they met at speech tournaments in high school. In high school. And so they went to a speech tournament in New Orleans. My mom won, and my dad saw her sing, and he was like, I've got to get that girl. Okay, it was like Michael Jackson in that video. And he had pursued her. Long story short, they got married. You know, and they still did a little bit of theater, but as you guys know, life's. And so following their dreams didn't really seem like something that was possible or obtainable in everyday life. And so eventually when they had kids and everything, they would talk to us about that world that they fell in love in and how they, you know, what their dreams were and all that kind of stuff. And we always wanted to find a way to be a part of that. And so when I was 9, they had read in the newspaper about Lion King auditions, and they were like, remember that thing we were telling you about with the acting and how we did theater and everything? Would you be interested in doing something like that? And I was like, yeah, I would love to do that. That'd be so cool. And so they took me down, and I auditioned for Nala and the Lion King, and I made it down to like 100. I don't know. I didn't get that far, but I made some progress. And then they asked me, you know, are you sad? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit sad. And they're like, but would you want to do it again? I was like, yeah. And that's how it began in terms of it being this career for me.
That's amazing. Okay. And so, you know, Keke, when we see you on the screen, a lot of us see ourselves in you.
Oh, that's amazing. That's what it's about, because I am you and you are me. We the same. Yeah,
For sure. So this next question is specifically for the sisters. Do I have any sisters in the room? Okay, this is for us. So, Keke, sometimes when people get to a certain level of status or celebrity, people think like, oh, they don't go through anything. I'm wondering, how do you navigate the isms that Black women experience, like racism and colorism and texturism in Hollywood?
It's really hard because everybody deals with it differently, and we all deal with it in our daily life. I do feel like, without totally being dismissive of what I'm experiencing.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Because I do discuss it with family and friends and the people that matter to me in my life. I also have to have a certain objectivity about the fact that these people don't care about me, you know? So what good does it do to put what you think and feel about me on a personal level in the center of my life? So I think at a certain age, I shut it off. And it just no longer mattered to me why somebody felt away or did something, or did they say, I can't go through my day picking up all your microaggressions and tallying them up on a list. Because then I'm not following, then I'm not thinking about what I gotta do. And so that's how I kind of do it. Now, if a situation gets far, then yeah, you know what to do. You know what to do. But I don't know why I went to Rick James just then. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you know what to do when it's time to say something or do something. You know what that feels like, but you do got to be careful about the way you spread your energy out. You don't want to spread yourself thin, because there's a Toni Morrison quote about that, where the real function of racism is to distract you. That's the greatest function of it. So, I try my best to navigate in that regard and stay focused on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it is a major distraction, and sometimes it can cause us to feel like we want to conform. How do you battle that, being who you are in these spaces?
Well, conformity, or, as we talk about it, there's another word for it, assimilation. Yes. A lot of those things are also forms of language, right? It's the way if I go into this corporate office, how can I make sure they know? I'm not going to say, "What's good?" I'm going to say, "Hi, sir. Glad to be here." It's like balancing the language of different spaces, but also remaining the true of who you are and bringing your culture to the table. It is absolutely a task. And it's something that my mom was also a teacher. And when I got into the industry, she said, Keke, you can be articulate. You can make sure that, you're using words that can help people understand what you're saying, but also show yourself. Show who you are. Let people know where you're coming from, so that one thing that you just said a few minutes ago is that when people see me, they see themselves in me. That's a part of that. You don't want to get to that position and then the very people that you're speaking to, they're like, "I don't recognize you." You want them to know, "Oh, she's me." When you say, "And the gag is," you know what I mean? You want them to know, she my girl, she's my, And so my mom spoke to me about that stuff, about that balance. But it is a balance. In every space you go in when you're trying to get your point across, it is like having an arsenal of all this different language, but making sure that you're authentically being you and knowing that that's what makes you you and what you bring to the table. Never let that die. Thank you so much.
She is dropping so many gems, y'all, and I'm just picking them up on the go. Listen. So thinking about this from a psychological perspective, because the majority of people in here know that I'm a psychologist, I'm wondering for you, Keke, how is
fabulous,
it,
by the way.
I appreciate that. How is it that you manage your mental health with such a busy schedule and a lot going on?
Well, I do believe in therapy. I believe in a lot of different things. I think that, I really do. I think that stuff is all here for us to use. That's why we have people like you and people that study this stuff. There's another aspect to it. So, I'm a praying person. I do therapy. I talk to my friends and my family. I get a massage. I go get my nails done, my feet done, my hair done. There's so many elements of taking time with yourself that can help and feed or put you mentally in a good place. And so I just always try to do checks and balance, like, oh my gosh, I've been working so much, I may need a massage, or let me go get a facial, or I got to spend time with my sister. I ain't talked to her all week. Whatever it may, or you know what? This is serious. Let me check in with that therapist real quick. I need to see that lady. Whatever it is, I try to do it. So I got to see that lady. So I got to stay on point.
So come on, see the lady, and I am that lady.
That's right. We got to see you.
See me. So you brought up a really great point, though, in your answer. So talking about like, oh, I haven't talked to that person in a minute, let me reach out. A lot of people don't realize how relational self-care is a thing. And so how do you do that with like being embedded in Hollywood and such a busy schedule? Like, how do you still make time for your family and friends?
It's really important. It's something that I've gotten better at over the years. I feel like that was something that really affected my mental health when I was younger, because I would have to go on the road and do movies, and they could only really afford for me and my mom to go. And then we'd be leaving my dad and my three siblings behind, and I would sometimes come back home, and I would be like, do I know y'all still? And that was really scary. And I think it was ultimately what I realized was a dissociative defense mechanism, because I missed them too much. I was just so sad of missing them all the time that it kind of like, I was like, you know, and so when I came back, I was like, hey. And so that was really hard to get through. But as I got older, obviously through therapy, understanding what I was experiencing, I realized what I needed, and I implemented more opportunities for me to spend time with my family. And so, you know, now actually my sisters and we live together. So my older sister, my younger sister, we all live together, and my older sister has 3 kids. And so our children grow up like as siblings, you know. Wow. And so that's really, that makes me so happy, you know. So we spend time like that, you know. On the weekends, I always try to I have to really tell my team, I'm like, don't play with my weekends, y'all. I need those days to go out with my girls and have a drink. And I really do push for that, where sometimes y'all know how it is, where you're just so tired, but you just say, I need to have this cocktail hour. Let me just push. I'm fighting for my life to get out here and do this cocktail hour, but I gotta do it because I have a life outside of my job. And then when you get there, you're a little tired, but then y'all get into the tea and then you're there. You know? You know?
I'm here for it. So a lot of us need to follow in them footsteps, like making more time. I'm here for it. Okay. So who were some women who inspired you in terms of like your career choices?
Wow. Okay, so obviously my mother, my grandmother, you know, inspired me in my life. Those are, you know, there's another woman named Asha Kamali. She was, you know, these are people that y'all may not know, but I had a lot of good mentors, family, friends in my daily life. But then when I look at people that are in the industry that really, you know, encouraged me, it would be like, the main one would be Queen Latifah. Over the course of a long time, guys, I'm not even kidding you, she has been such an influential person in my life, has continuously uplifted me and gave me opportunities, and also showed me, like, in action, how to be a leader, how to be a legend. I mean, I remember one time when I was doing Joyful Noise, she had caught, at this point, she and I had done, like, 3 projects together, I think, maybe 2, maybe this was our 3rd, but we had kept doing stuff together, and the director of the movie had told me, you know, when I asked Queen who she would like to play her daughter, when I was getting down to the girls, you know, you and the other girl for the role, she said, I would really like it if Keke Palmer played my daughter. And I'm like, no, Queen said that? I can't believe that. So one night, you know, while we're finishing the movie up, they're like, oh, Queen want to talk to you in her trailer. And so it's her, Shakim, a couple of her friends hanging out. And I'm like, Queen, I just, you know, want to thank you so much for letting me be in this movie. And I want you to know the director told me what you said about me, and it meant so much. And she said, well, Keke, you know I love you, but I got to be honest. I didn't just say that because I think you're a great young woman. I do, but I said it because I see your work ethic. I see you out there going for it every time. Every time I turn my head, I'm like, Keke's up to something else. So I knew that in hiring you, you were going to show up and you were going to do the work. And you were going to get us out of here on time. And I'm like, that really meant a lot to me, because it's like, yeah, you cool and I live for you, girl, but you're also a professional. And that means something to people. So it doesn't, be on time, do the lines, be somebody that people can count on. And so even in those actions, how she showed me what was important, those are things that I've taken to the hills, you know?
Yeah, and that's good, because I think a lot of times in our generation, we expect things to come with a quickness without putting in the work. And you're telling us that that was a work.
You sometimes got to work harder. Right. And these people are watching you. They are watching you. Everybody that I have worked with, you know, I don't even know. I remember I was doing Scream Queens. You know, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of this song I did called I Don't Belong to You. So I did this song, I Don't Belong to You, and I'm on the set of Scream Queens. And Jamie Lee Curtis is on the show, obviously a legend and icon. She comes up, she says, I seen that new song you put out. Keke, how do you have time? The feminist language, the empowerment, I got it all. Keep it up.
And it's like,
You don't even know they're watching you, but they're watching. And she always has supported me till this day. And so it's just really awesome when you get the opportunity to be around these people that have had all this longevity. And you see that really it's simple for them. Come there, do the work, go home, be with your family. That's it. You know?
Y'all can clap it up for that. Yes, yes. So I'm going to segue into talking more about motherhood. Period. I love how you just lit up there because that's how I lit up when I saw this viral clip of you that was like literally going viral. You were walking, like I think you were backstage or something, and you walked past your baby. You was like, hand me my child. And you start carrying your baby in them high heels and juggling it was amazing. I was like, yo, this is so metaphorical. Like, this is like how she's balancing life, motherhood, career.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So how is that, like juggling it all?
It's definitely tough. It's not easy. Yeah. But my son helps me to put things in perspective. I think, that's the beauty of children is, in order for me to be my best with you, I have to have really strong boundaries.
Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, FDA approved for over 20 years. So, talk to your specialist to see if Botox Cosmetic is right for you.
For full prescribing information, including boxed warning, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
Remember to ask for Botox Cosmetic by name. To see for yourself and learn more, visit BotoxCosmetic.com. That's BotoxCosmetic.com.
Every other aspect of my life. Personally, professionally, just everything so that I can make sure that I can be on point and give my best to you. That's my baby. Thank you for that picture. That's my boo. Yes, I love you. He really, has given my life so much meaning. And I feel like my life had meaning before. I always had purpose in my community and just, the foundation of church and God. And just like, I want to be something. I want to do something. I'm here for a reason. But when I had my son, it just became that much more. He gave me a strength. And I remember talking to my best friend all the time where when I was pregnant with him, I was like, something about this baby feels strong. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like that was the kind of vibe that he gave me that I could just overcome and do what I needed to do. And I was on point. And then when he came out, guys, that's his attitude. Very, and who are you? And it just makes me feel strong. And it's so funny because when you become a mom, you think about all the stuff with your mom. And I think about my mom and how my mom is like, girl, I used to be so scared and stuff like that. But then I see you wasn't scared. And so I said, I'm going to be fearless. And so there are these things that your kids show you how to be. And I think my son gave me so much strength, guys. It's truly. Wow. That made me think about our girl Whitney. I didn't know my own strength. Y'all remember that song? Yes, we love that. Oh my gosh, I love her.
I'm here for it. All the impersonations. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Okay, before we go, you got to do Angela Bassett. I'm going to just put that on the table.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Y'all want to see Angela?
The funny thing about it is that this stuff started when I was a kid because my family and I, that's what we loved to do. We loved to watch movies. And one of our favorite stories was the Michael Jackson story, The American Dream. Okay, so much so, my family packed us up in the car and we drove to California for The American Dream. That's how inspiring their story was to us. And so I used to do this scene where she find out that he cheating on her. And she goes, you a lie, and you a cheat, and I don't want you no more.
Y'all give it up for Keke. Yo.
I love Angela.
No, that was so spot on. Listen.
Thank you
the
so
biopic.
much. I love her.
Come on. So, quick question about creativity and motherhood. Do I have any creatives in the building? Okay.
I know that's right.
Because a lot of times our creativity can be influenced by life circumstances and situations. Yeah. And I'm wondering, has parenthood influenced your creativity?
I think it really has.
Yeah.
It's influenced the way I show up creatively, I think the most. From how I present, my fashion, the story I'm telling with that. The type of projects I've always been really critical about choosing, but I think even more so now, not even so much about the projects, but which aspect of my career I'm looking into the most. I think I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, a lot more business stuff as opposed to just performance and talent stuff, just seeing how to evolve out of that space also so that I can have more balanced time with my son. So I know when I'm starting and I'm finishing and I can have more of a consistent schedule. But overall, I think, the strength, the energy that I get as a mother, as a boss, as somebody that is looking at things from a wider vantage point, I do think it's inspired my work in a different way. It's allowed me to kind of be more of an observer. Yeah, come on, I'm hearing like it's like.
Yeah, I know. It's just like
they were like very fashionable claps. Like, I love that. It was like.
Right.
Very cute, very demure.
Very demure, very mindful. So in addition to being a mother, you are a new author. Y'all got the book, right? Okay. Listen, Master of Me has been soaring the charts and it hasn't even come out already.
Oh my gosh,
Yo,
no, thank you.
It's on Barnes & Noble's bestseller, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
The proof is in the pudding, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
So in this specific book, you're talking a lot about controlling your own narrative.
Yes.
And what is something that you wanted the readers to take away from that? Like, why is it important to control your own narrative?
Well, my mom used to always tell me when I was a kid, never let somebody's perception of you be your perception of yourself. And it's said so much, and it's even can be seen as a cliche, but a cliche, usually that means because it's really true. It's really facts. It's something that's overused because it's very real. And so as I've gotten older, that's continuously become more and more true to me. And I guess what I wanted people to know in the book is that you are the author of your life. I don't care what you've gone through. The way that you perceive it is what you can either let empower you or disempower you. And other people don't have the ability to do that. You know what I mean? Like it's with anything. I don't know. It could be something small. I stubbed my toe. No, I just tripped. I mean, it could be however you want to spin it, put it. It's about how you perceive it. Other people cannot tell you what has happened to you or what you have gone through. You are the author of that story. And so that's what I mean by Master of Me. You know, my first book, I Don't Belong to You, Quiet the Noise and Find Your Voice, I put that out when I was 21, and it was about that. It was me realizing that I could quiet the chatter in my mind to really lift up the volume on my true intuitive voice. And then now at 31, it's about now I can choose what that intuitive voice is saying with intention. I have the clarity of where I'm headed, of where I'm going to go, and how I want to steer that ship. And so it's just that awareness. And so it's my way of using my stories and my journey to help hopefully encourage other people to say, it doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter what that person did. You get to decide how you feel about it. You know, reframe, redirect, and move on.
That's so good. You're going to have to add preacher to your bio because you was preaching. Seriously.
Oh, my gosh. Well, what do they say? When one or two of us together?
You better preach.
Y'all know.
Come on. So in your book, you also became like really candid about setting boundaries and forgiveness. Now, without telling too much to the audience, because we want y'all to read the book, what exactly do you think is important for us to know about forgiveness and boundaries in terms of living a overall better quality of life?
So I feel like boundaries for me was something I really had to learn because even the kind of family that I come from and just my faith background, it can be very self-sacrificial. But I was putting a philanthropist attitude in all of my relationships, and it would leave me kind of like, who said empty is perfect? Yeah, it would leave me empty. And then also, I'm not even telling the people in my life how to show up for me because I'm not giving them no line to not encroach upon. I'm just like, I'm here. And then by the time it's over, I'm like, you're done. And they don't even know why they're done because I never told them until I got pushed to the edge that they didn't know was there. And so learning my boundaries and how to actually truly love people, sometimes loving people is telling them no, telling your family, no, I can't do this, telling your partner, no, I can't do this, telling your kids, no, baby, I can't do this because you know, you really do, and it's hard to do it with people that you love. So that's a big thing that I talk about in the book when it comes to boundaries is making sure that you're being real with the people that you love in your life. And then the other aspect that you had just asked about, which was not only boundaries, but you said forgiveness. The forgiveness, when a lot of times I think when we think about it, we think, okay, that means reconciliation. it doesn't really mean that. I think for me, forgiveness is putting myself in the position of the other person so that I don't personalize what they did to me. Forgiving them is understanding what would make you do this, and I can understand that. Doesn't mean I have to fool with you, but I can understand that so that now I'm not taking on the projection of the pain you caused me. I could say, oh man, they was going through a hard time. They didn't know what they was doing, and that's cool and that's all right. I don't know if I'll ever be able to be cool with them, but you know what? I forgive them for that. And I'm now free of the burden of thinking that I deserve to be treated like that. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can put it. Because you'll really take that on.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. You start to internalize it.
You really will.
Yeah.
Everything becomes so personal. And you know, my dad used to tell me that when I was a little girl. He would say, Keke, you take things personal. Everything's not personal. I'm like, yes, it is. You hurt me. But he was telling the truth. He would tell me, my dad dropped so many gems because when you take everything personal, and really everything, most things actually are not personal. Yes. And if you just go around in your life taking everything personal, then you're believing everything people are putting on you. Yep. You're believing that you're worthless. You're believing that you deserve to be hurt. You're believing that you deserve to be left alone. You're believing it all. But when you say it's not personal, it actually has more to do with them than it does with me, then you're free. You're free of it.
You're literally giving us the steps to freedom, like how we can free ourselves from this internalization of blaming others and being defensive all the time.
Oh my gosh, I'm happy that you feel that way because that's definitely how I want to be in my life and feel in my life is free. Yes. Free of it all because I can't control it. You know, so if I can't control it, then I've got to be able to get me together. I can't control the external situations, but me and how I feel about it, that's under my control. So, baby, let me come out with my blue dress on with the black flowers on. It didn't look good. Because that's what I can control.
Come on. Control the controllables.
You know what I mean?
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
This is ludicrous.
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.